Okay, I am live. I think some of you will be here soon. Okay. Wait. 2 viewers. Okay, so I see 2 viewers now. Okay. I'm on. 4 viewers. Hey, I'm going to tell you this, guys. The only issue with this situation is that this is a delayed situation. So you're going to see this delayed. So some of your texting may not come at the same time. That's all I got to tell you. Okay, can you let me know who can see me? Oh, and by the way, our communication is going to be through WhatsApp. So if you can see me, WhatsApp me and tell me you can see me. Oh, perfect. Selena's connections. Good. Okay, thank you, Selena. So hers is the first one. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Thank you, Lindsay. Khadija can see me. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start my lecture then. Some of you guys are there and they can see me. I bet a lot of you guys, and by the way, you could tell me things as we go. I could see you texting, and I'll go back and forward and I'll see it. One thing that's really, really funny is I bet you a lot of you thought that I'm the guy you're not gonna see much. I don't blame you, because a lot of professors, when they do online, they just want to do online. You know, they want to do the bare minimum, and that's not necessarily all professors. Thankfully, for me, it's not like that. So let me see. So, but in this case, what I'm really, really concerned about, you guys, is to learn. So let's see. I'm going to try again and to ask a question. Let's see how long it takes. Okay. What's the capital of the United States? I'm just testing the live of this. Okay. Let's see how long it took. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Okay. So it's Betty that got it first. Victoria second. Okay. Got it. So I'm about, I'm pretty sure I'm about 2-3 minutes delayed. Okay, there's something I gotta do. I gotta go charge my phone. I'll be right back. Do me a favor, pull out your textbooks, start reading the first part, which, believe it or not, it's going to be objective 1. So look at objective 1. I gotta go charge my phone and I'll be right back. Give me about 2 minutes and we'll begin. Okay, class, back. I had to get my cord because this is actually taking a lot of battery from my phone. All right. It's the back and forward. Okay, so Liliana, I could tell you're a little behind. Don't worry, this will go a little easier. But I'm going to let you know that if you can stay through the entire lecture, which should be done around 8:50-ish, and that means that you will get credit for this module, and that means that you won't have to do the quiz. And the only thing I may need you to do is go to the discussion and say that you were present. That's all. Congratulations for being one of the first on this live test. I actually talked to Lone Star Online all about it, and we tested it and did everything we could, and we came up with this solution. So, and we would like to try Facebook Live, but some people don't really are comfortable with Facebook. So, but let's begin on the lecture. Okay, so again, go to your objective 1. At the end of these, we're going to do 4 objectives today. We're going to do objective 1, 2, 3, and 4. At the end of it, what we're going to do, and actually through the entire thing, I'd like for you to have 2 questions per objective that you're going to ask, but you're going to ask your class. Now, I'll tell you this. I need you to have those 2 questions with multiple choice, A, B, C. In fact, I'm going to ask you to email me at the end of the night your 2 questions. But if I call upon you after the lecture, I'm going to say, hey, can you give me your 2 questions? Maybe it's Danilo, maybe Selena. And I'll ask, can you give me your 2 questions? And then I'll ask somebody to answer them. That's how we make sure you're paying attention. It should be pretty simple if you're just watching this, right? So again, a little delayed, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so we're gonna go to this, and you should be, sorry about that, you're going to see Infinity, but then now you see the actual class, okay, the actual course. Okay, so chapter introduction, we go into objective 1. And I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite courses. Let me know if something gets disconnected. Can you see the chapter introduction page right now? Someone let me know. Yes. Okay, perfect. Selena has the best connection, and we know that. Okay, Victoria's next. It's important that you just say yes, because then we know what your speed is at. This is what we get to. Maybe in 10 years from now, you won't even think of speed. All right, Lindsay, Khadija just got it. Liliana got it, which I think Liliana had, okay, and Joyce and everybody else. Good. So we'll start with the chapter introduction. Now let me begin on the lecture. Overall, this is one of my favorite courses. It's one of the most important courses, especially in this era. And you know the era we're in. It started in January 20. I'm not going to put in my political views on it, but I'll tell you that this is really important because decisions were the reason why we have this new president, which that could be good or bad. But the point is how people make decisions. This course is nothing about your gut, guys. It's absolutely nothing about your gut. This is all about making decisions strategically, like a business person. Okay, so this is really important for you to take through life. And I would love for you guys to give me feedback. I could see your text, and I can even kind of hear myself. So I think I know when you guys get these audios. So I'll tell you, I love your book. Your book is one of my favorite books of all time because it's really 1 page per chapter. And I get to talk about it, okay? Identify yourself as a problem solver. This is important because to begin this whole entire class, you have to have the attitude of a problem solver. I believe that programmers have the best idea, the best mindset for that. Remember, guys, you're taking notes on 2 questions in this page right here. And if I call you upon it and then someone answers it, your quiz grade's up. It's done. So let's see. Let's make sure you do that so that way you could just be done with this module, right? Identify yourself as a problem solver. In fact, the role problem solver is one that distinguishes the professional from the line worker. what's the professional and what's the line worker? I know that you guys are trying to get a degree, and I don't think much is talked about this. I was able to hire someone for my company just a week ago, and that was the one thing I talked to her about. She had just graduated from college, and I told her, listen, there's professional and then there's the line worker. And I'm not saying anything bad about anyone else. I'm just saying that the line worker gets instructions. The professional makes them. So that's the decision. So recent college graduates and others who are new to the workforce often solve problems. That's exactly why you went to college. You're going to college to learn how to make decisions. But then you have to recognize the problem. If the problem doesn't really exist and you're trying to solve an issue that's not really there, then you're wasting time. What is a problem? It's an obstacle that stands in the way of achieving a desired goal. Let me tell you, if you make a living out of solving problems, you're going to be fine. You just have to figure out what they are. Defining a problem. Current state, 50 tours per month. You need a problem and there's a solution, and the goal state's 100 tours per month. That's real simple. This is kind of defining a problem of a company that wants tours per month and take it from 50 to 100. That's all. Select an intuitive approach for solving problems. Intuition is your knowledge of something without having to discover it or learn it. It's so funny how in nature we can make decisions without knowing something. It's almost instinctual. It's like we see it and we're like, you know what, I like it or don't. But this is not what you need in this class. Not to say that intuition is lower, no. But for this class, I need you to put it aside. It's the one thing I hope you learn. It's if you're gonna make a decision, you're at least gonna write this stuff down. Write the factors down. Write the demographics, the factors, so the way you can continue on and make a good decision. Again, this is how you're going to be graded in the future. Now comes another word, the word systematic. When you're systematic, you solve a problem in a methodical process in an organized manner. What does that mean? That means that you are consistent, very, very consistent. And people will love for you to be predictable. Even though that sounds very, hey, it's not the most interesting thing to be predictable. Let me tell you, your manager, you will love for your manager to be predictable, because then you get an aura of understanding. You get an aura of, you know what, it's going to be okay. Unpredictable managers are not the best. What do you guys think? Okay, let me know some comments, and let's see. Since Selena's there, Selena's the first. Are you there, Selena? Selena, go ahead and give me your first question. Give me a question, and I will tell you who's going to answer it. And again, that's a little bit of the delay. So I apologize a little bit for the delay there. So, thank you. That is true. The best businesses are consistent. So I'm waiting on Selena's question. And you, by the way, Selena, you could just voice it too. We will take that. And let's see. Oh, she's typing it up. Yes, actually, to answer Carrie's question, these are questions you make up from the chapter that you see right in front of you. So let me give you a good question, okay? Intuition, is it the knowledge? Is intuition the knowledge of something with having to discover it or learn it, or without having to learn it? That's simple. Or like a true or false. It's just something that I could give you credit for in the quiz, honestly. Oh, but by the way, there's a kind of a little bit of a caveat. These two questions you're going to send to me, your class is going to take a quiz on. So, and I'll explain to you without it. Without, see, you kind of answered it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. From your brain, that's right. Okay, so let's keep going. Hey, but one thing I want to let you guys know too, this is why you get the benefit. It's almost like you guys that are going live, you are actually going to be quizzing the people that are taking the quiz on the back end. Okay, I'm hoping that means that every week we have people sign up quickly for these live classes, because yeah, it sounds like the live classes are easier, the easiest route, but the truth is that it's the most interactive. And I'm gonna go pro interactive every time. And yes, the final is gonna be the final for everybody, and then the midterm is gonna be the midterm for everybody. So okay, so let's move on to the next one. I do wish life was actually life. On objective 2, you see that what we're going to talk about is analyzing problems. This is all about problems, guys. You have issues, you solve problems. It's funny because let me tell you, if your future job was easy, you wouldn't be doing it, or you wouldn't get paid that much for it. Remember that, guys. Remember, you bring value. In fact, Khadija took my business. I'm almost going to use you, Khadija, because you took my face-to-face class, my principles of business. And what would I always say? What's the word? And I'll wait for you to get there. It starts with the V. What's business about? And she'll let you know. But look for deficiencies. A problem is only a problem when you're aware of it. It's only a problem where most organizations have a constant stream of difficulties. There's always going to be issues. Oh, that's so funny. I think Khadija is like, it's value. Value is the word, Khadija. Business is about value. Okay, remember that. So if your value is to solve problems, you're golden. Inertia means not acting, being so familiar with a problem that it doesn't occur to you to solve it. Okay, so there's stuff that does happen as such. Interview and gather data. So as you're trying to see these deficiencies and the shortcomings and solving them, you have to kind of gather the data first. Remember, this course is teaching you to calm down on the decision making. Don't make it quick. Calm down. So some of these questions that you're going to come about are going to be, well, what color should we paint the walls? What will be the business way of doing it will be to research to see what other people have painted walls, how much the paint is, how much the labor is. Intuition will be green. Quick. Just made it up because green is your favorite color. That's what decisions class is about. So gather data, gather the price, gather the situation, right? We'll go to observe as much as you can. You often learn the most about a problem through observation. You can observe a problem directly by watching an interaction. Exactly. So observe, observe, observe. Do what the tree does. You know what the tree does? Observes, because they have nothing else to do. It's the old one of the biggest observers. And that doesn't mean we don't know how to get observations from them, but observing means just stay quiet and look. How about that? Ask what, not who. What does that mean? If there's an issue, who did this? No. What made it happen? Will it usually help, right? Hey, that's a great quiz question right there. And have a reality check. When you identify a suspected problem, ask yourself if it makes sense in light of the data you've collected. Does this make sense? It's like a math quiz. Remember when you were a kid, you were taking a math quiz, and then you're like doing a subtraction or a multiplication, and you look at the number, you're like, that doesn't make sense, even though I calculated it, and then you find out you did it wrong. Does the problem make sense? Does the solution make sense? Reality check, right? I didn't see your question. Let me see, Selena. I didn't see a question that you asked. Hey, but while you're here, Selena, how about voice me one of your comments on this if you can, and that way we could kind of. And I hope you guys have a little bit of patience on that, because the truth is that I wish that we could do this live, And I think Live is Facebook, but we may or may not try that. Yeah, let me know a little bit of your opinions on this one. Save the questions. Save the quiz questions. I think we're having an issue. Okay. Having intuition is not important. True or false? Okay. That's actually such a deep question, because intuition is important. Selena, I want to let you know that. Just not for this class. Okay. Please remember that, because my psychic friends will be really, really mad at me and put a curse on me. Right? Okay, so good question. And as we go, give me some feedback, guys. Let me know that you're out there listening. Another thing about it too, I need to make sure you're listening. That's why you're getting credit for this. And that's why the people that are not here are not. They're going to be actually paying attention to the video. So what I'm going to ask of you is to please make sure you're here, right? But depending on the situation, that is true. When making business decisions. Selena, yes. It's not important when making business decisions. See, that was a good question. This is multitasking at its finest. Yes, Victoria, I believe that. Yeah, I do have psychic friends. And unfortunately, those watching the video will not see the chat group coming in. I would have loved for you guys to see the chat group coming in, but again, we're working through this. Last two objectives. So this objective 3 is on working with problem owners and stakeholders. So we're going to learn a few things here, okay? What's a stakeholder? This is a lot more important than Ruth Chris. Okay, not the steak to eat, but a stake as in to have a share of something. But more than that, to be in influence of something. Let me give you a good situation. Right now, Mexico is a stakeholder of the United States. Why? Because a lot of policy is changing. Stakeholder just means that there's some influence that's over you. It could be your client, it could be your supplier, it could be your buyer. It's actually everything just about that touches. So in a way, we're all stakeholders of the Texans, the Houston Texans. They didn't make it far into the playoffs, so we didn't get a Super Bowl, right? The problem owners, this is really important for you to understand, because the problem owner is a person who actually has the issue and owns that issue. And when you consult them, you don't make decisions for them. You just advise, okay? So then we keep going, and that's part of that objective. Solicit input from the problem owners. Yes, solicit, because if, let's say you're consulting and you're sitting there and you're getting their problems or situations, you want to give them advice, but you want to listen carefully, an explanation of the problem. It's hard to have empathy when their situation, because you're not them. This book really coaches you like you're a consultant, which I like. It really does go for that side. Recognize opinions and assumptions. Man, that is so important. Opinions are not a bad thing. Opinions happen, okay? In fact, an appraisal for a house is an opinion. And it's a legal opinion, nonetheless, but it's still an opinion. An assumption as well. It could be a professional assumption that you make, like a hypothesis. However, make sure you know what it is. You know that is not a fact. It's really important, because then you're able to create decisions from there. Communicate your progress clearly. As you go, use emails and memos and documents to create a log of your process or your conversations and what you're doing. This is important. Do your homework carefully. It's funny, because there's some people that I call travel agents, and they love to do homework on their travel. Let me tell you, those people we should take notes from, because they do their homework on the fun stuff. And that's the way it gets funner, when you do homework on the fun stuff. How to have a great day in Orlando, Florida. You could just go there and wing it, or you could have done your homework and see just about everything. It does pay. Let me know if some of you guys are homework people for travel, and God bless you. Provide choices. Selecting one choice from many increases a sense of ownership. So present the problem owners with options and ask them to select one or two. That's right. When you go to people and you dictate them an answer, it's not the way. Give them alternatives. Promote your solution. So if you find a solution and you've done, and you know the problem owner and the stakeholders of the situation, create a persuasive report. You still have to sell it. It may be a good idea. It may be the best solution you could find. However, you still need to sell it. Opinions are usually ones you have to sell, right? My family plans trips to the max can be stressful. Wow. Amelia, I think those families do can make things stressful sometimes. You're right. There's extremes. So I would agree. Depends on the homework. Yeah, that's true. The word homework, unfortunately, doesn't have a very good connotation because everybody thinks of, high school times or middle school times. And college homework's a little different, right? All right, guys. Hey, I like the little comments. Bring them in, because that's really important. And objective 4, and in this objective is the last objective, guys. Chapter introduction. We're going to talk about developing effective problem statements. For those of you who are watching the video, and I'll talk to you now before we end this objective, please take the quiz, because your fellow students that are alive have been using your questions. I will let you know this. They will get points off if the questions are done incorrectly. So you let me know, and I'll find out the owner of the quiz question, and I will have to take points off them. If they're right, they get 100. So keep an eye out. This is how we keep quality on the attention. Okay, I thought I could do the quiz questions right here live so you can get some, but we really can't because it's not really live. It's like 2 minutes behind. Let's continue. Chapter introduction. Problem statement is a clear and concise description of the problem. It's really not a statement if you haven't written it out, guys. You have to write it out, the issue. You please use this for some of your personal situations. You'll be so surprised how well it works. And it's only because, again, this is theories. And I talked to Khadija about that last semester. Theories are academic theories that have been put and tested in place that actually do work. And problem statement is a term, a business terms that does work. So what does the problem statement do? Describe a single problem. Use objective measures, not subjective, but objective. Don't address more than one problem. Don't identify causes, and don't assign blame. As hard as that may be, don't do that. And don't describe the solution either, because you need to kind of understand that. Do know the audience and do identify ideal situations on the content, right? Let's keep going, guys. And also, by the way, again, these quiz questions should be on what I'm saying. Not too much in the chapter itself, but what I'm saying, right? Describe the ideal situation. Frame the problem for your audience by starting with a brief description of the ideal situation. What's the ideal? The ideal thing would be that we all get along. Understand that is what your goal is, okay? Briefly summarize the problem. Hey, listen. Contrast the ideal situation with the current state. So right now, we are not in our best situation as a country, but we would love to be united. How to get to be united, to seem united. I mean, we've never been united, but seem united. That's the ideal, unity, right? Identify symptoms of the problem. Well, nobody really came out to vote, right? No one did. So that's a problem, okay? And describe the size and scope of the problem. Even though we were on MTV, on everywhere, asking people to vote, they still didn't come out. Why? What was the scope of the issue there? Maybe registration and such. Yeah, it does sound like I know a lot about election coverage, because we've been all on it, right? And let's see, identify consequences. Yes, that word consequences has a negative connotation. I'm gonna tell you this. There is not. Your consequence of buying a lottery could be that you won it. Okay, remember the word consequence could be an outcome. It doesn't have to be negative. It's just this used as such, right? But realize it's always an outcome to something you've done. Explain any of the research and investigation that you may pursue. Yes, your problem statement is likely to be a work in process. If you're still collecting data, interviewing affected parties, or developing alternative solutions, let your audience know, hey, I'm not complete. I still have to look at this whole picture. However, I feel like I could get there. Okay, so that's it. That was your class lesson. And look, I'm going to now go to in the video. Okay, now you see me. Who are stakeholders, Selena? I'll tell you, everyone is pretty much a stakeholder. I'll give you an example. Right now, if you drink Coca-Cola, you're a stakeholder of Coca-Cola because you're a customer. If you have some kind of ability to influence Coca-Cola, you're a stakeholder. Okay. Questions, guys. Now you'll see a little bit of the lag there, but questions. And we can talk about the quiz, how you're gonna get the quiz grade. Okay, I see people typing. Ooh, Danilo did a good job. Thank you. Yes, that's definitely the definition. For Victoria, what was the goal for the ideal situation? I would say that it's to get as close as you can to it. That will be it. Yes, Khadija, the problem owner, it's like a client. So let me explain to you. I have a real estate business, and if I asked you, Khadija, could you help me with my advertising? I would be the problem owner. Okay. So actually what I was asking is questions about the quiz grade. The quiz grade. How are you gonna get your quiz grade? And to explain to you live, 2 questions submitted to my email, multiple choice. Do not forget the answer. Okay, please, because people they forget to put which one's the answer. 2 questions and send that in, okay, about what I've talked about. Believe it or not, this is gonna be a video that you can go back on, and it should work. I do have somebody that just kind of barely came in. That's it. You send that in. That's your quiz grade. You guys are done. Those who are not live, you will have to answer those questions. The quiz will be up. It will be due Tuesday, Monday at 11:30, and you will have this video to go to. Just that's the asynchronous side. Some people appreciate that better. The questions are due. I'm gonna say 9 a.m. tomorrow, guys. Please. Yes, 2 questions on I want to say the entire thing. If everybody submits it, we're fine. Now, I got to tell you something that Khadija knows from last semester. If I don't get 2 questions from everyone, then you guys don't get a grade. You have to just submit 2 questions, guys. It's really easy. Email it, please. Email it. Make sure you guys all submit, though, on the live class. Accountable. Yeah, and by the way, you already have the grade for discussion. This was your discussion grade. I will give you that. You got 100. Those who didn't make it, and I think there's one in my inbox right now. I'm sorry. We'll have to talk about. You may have to do the discussion grade on D12. Yes, make sure you email it to me. Yeah, email to you. Only to me, okay, guys? Don't want to submit those questions to the class. They have to be multiple choice. They have to be 4 multiple choice. Thank you, Amelia. 4 multiple choice, no true or false, please. Okay. Hey, one last thing, and I'll let you guys go. I think we finished early. Oh, everyone here got credit But on the discussion board, you're gonna put in that you came to the live class this week. Okay, so I'm gonna put in those who have to do discussions. You don't have to type anything but that phrase. I came to discussion class that week, and I'll know because of WhatsApp, right? Yes, that's right. Hey, one more thing, guys. I want to talk to you about WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a tool that you could use to talk to each other, to talk to me. It is easy breezy. You can not get a better hold of me. Phone calls, you'll get my voicemail. Email, I'll respond at the end of the day. This one's quick. I want to let you know you are not required to keep it. Please understand that. You're not required to keep it. You're not going to get a better grade for it. I think I do owe a few of you guys some bonus points. I'm going to kind of collect that. But I'll let you know, you're not going to get a better grade for it. It's just going to make your life easier. Okay, I have to do that. Only because, you know, some people can't get a hold of WhatsApp. It is real easy to use, though. Make your life easier, guys. That's all I got to say. Make your life easier. And in fact, the exam reviews, which I'm going to have exam reviews, are going to have to be this way. Because how else can I give an exam review? Okay, so I'm gonna try to push more people into this. Again, you can leave if you like. However, we're gonna do this again next week. We're gonna do this again next week on Tuesdays. I hope Tuesday's a good time at 8 p.m. I do it a little late so everybody could be at home, nice and toasty, and can do it. Any questions about that? There are going to be some rules about WhatsApp. Please do not text after 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is the cutoff. You can text each other, you can text me, but not the actual classroom. Okay, it's going to be from 8 to 9 p.m. that we could talk to each other. And I'm going to send you things. You know, I'm going to talk to you guys, how you guys have been. Have a community. You know, we're trying to learn business here and try to become a professional, right? Multiple choice cannot be true or false. You're not gonna get credit for that. So please don't make it true or false. That was just for the lecture, but do not make it true. I think I made a mistake to ask you guys to put that on because we're kind of deferred, but it can be perfect. Maybe I'll ask a question and we could do try Facebook Live one day, but I will have everybody unanimously have to say yes. And you know that will mean that you have to share your profile. I'm not sure if people are comfortable with that. I'm gonna add Nubia to this. Of course, Nubia, I think you're gonna have to, because at the time you're gonna have to do the module next week. You could be here. Everybody okay with Tuesday at 8 p.m.? How did everybody like this? Any objections? Okay, good. Everybody liked it. Wow. Okay. Good likes. I like that. That's awesome. I'm happy you guys like that. I'm going to always make a sign up on actually, let's do this. I'm trying to still figure out what to do. I think I'm only going to make a sign up if you don't have WhatsApp. So the new people. If you have WhatsApp, I'm going to let you know Tuesday I'm coming on. You know how it works. I send you the link, you put it on, and we're good to go. Guys, that was it. Any questions you have, you let me know, and we'll go from there. All right. I'm glad to have you. It's an honor to be a professor, to show you how to make decisions in this era where decisions are not easily made, or are too easily made. I'm sorry. Decisions are too easily made, and therefore you're going to learn how to sound scientific, businesslike when you make a decision. My goal is that when people ask you a question, you tend to think about it, you write it down a little bit, and you tell them an answer. And they're going to look at you like, wow, that was Professor Puente's class. Hey, you guys have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.